Hello everyone and welcome back to more Lucid9 Inciting Incident. We are back for more of this game and we are here at the point in time in which I'm pretty sure you guys are probably sick and tired of seeing this screen at this point, because in the last episode we got ourselves another bad ending to this game. I tried my best to try to work out the logics and figure this shit out, do some psychological warfare with Mr. Ryouta, but obviously I'm not cut out for it. I wasn't cut out for it. It was a really long, drawn out sort of like, events that led to a bad ending. We made it as far as to have Ruri kind of fairly safe throughout the entire situation, in which he was making us hit the two students that he had captured, and Ruri was unbound by that point. Except by the end of it, we were like almost at the cusp of getting a good things working out, where we made it to the point where Shigure and the police force actually make it. They show up. We thought we were safe. We took some blows ourselves. The two other students were in pretty bad shape because we had drawn it out so long, and we had injured them. In turn, we had injured them so much with Mr. Ryota's games. But yeah, so Shigure shows up with the police force and with the SWAT team, I guess. But the thing is that Mr. Ryouta, or at least Shigure and the police force, had miscalculated that the windows leading into the classroom were bulletproof. So no matter what, they can't snipe out Mr. Ryouta, even if they tried, and even if they tried to spare us. So in the end, Mr. Ryouta got the jump on us. He went and he attacked Ruri. When we tried to attack him in the end as well, we got knocked down pretty easily, and she ends up getting killed by Mr. Ryouta. And of course, I think that's the way it ends up, where Ruri gets killed and we are then thus we succumb to Mr. Ryota's violent natures, and he ends up killing everybody in the classroom. So yeah, that was unfortunate. So I think I had left off on saying that I would try one more time. I don't know if I said that I would try one more time in terms of trying to get this on my own, but I had decided against it because I feel like just seeing how drawn out that part was in terms of in that classroom and trying to stall or trying to decide whether to hit the students or the girl or to attack Mr. Ryouta. There's a whole slew of combinations that can be tried. There's a lot of trial and error involved, and I feel like if I had gone about it in my own way, I would probably not end up figuring it out for the longest time. So I pulled up a guide, so-called non-spoilery guide, but at the same time a little bit of a spoiler because it gives the correct answers for the quote-unquote good ending called the climax, or titled the climax, in this guide that I have here. The only thing that isn't spoilery is the fact that there's no description of what would happen in terms of making these choices. The choices are just listed out correctly, and then we just go on through them. I will say this now, the only spoilery thing about the guide is, like I had mentioned before, is the fact that during the showdown portion of this what's it called, ending, gearing up towards the ending, is that there's a couple of choices that really surprised me, but I'll get to it. I'll tell you guys when we get to it. But for now, we're gonna come back to, at this point, do the correct order, and then of course go on ahead, and I'll catch you guys up to the point where we start making the better choices in which last episode I hadn't made correctly, and we can see the difference there. Okay, so yeah. We all know what would happen. We all know the correct thing to do here is, of course, to answer the phone call, which we did. Shigure's on the other line. She's listening in, Mr. Ryouta made her hang up, and then he was telling us terms and agreements, how we need to see Ruri before we head to the classroom, and she needs to be bound, and she needs to be unbound for us to actually go and agree. So we need to refuse the terms twice before accepting them. So this is what we're doing. So I'm refusing them first here, this first time around. Reject the terms again, and then we'll accept them. Okay, and so we're going to fast forward to the point where we make it to the classroom and we see the two students, or Mr. Ryouta gives us the two options, whether he takes Ruri to be his victim and we hit the skeleton dummy, or we of course go along with his sick game on the two students. Okay, so here we are. This is the first time. This is the first round of stalling, or having us, or the options of having us to stall. So before I stalled like maybe once or twice, or maybe just once before I agreed to hit the girl. But here, apparently, you can stall for a total of 4 times in order to make the choice to make this bad ending this good ending happen. So I didn't know that because I was midway through the last episode, as you guys could probably remember. I was going on off on the facial expressions that Mr. Ryouta was wearing. So he was kind of smiley. He was kind of like okay, pretty chill about it. So that's when I was stalling. But then once I see that his facial expression changed to like this, where he's super serious, then I was like, okay, maybe we should like go along with his games before he gets pissed off at us. So, but anyways, regardless, we can stall here. So let's stall. So pipes, don't you think it's a little, outdated? So that was the first time. That's the first time what we said when I first stalled, and so yeah, doesn't mean it's old-fashioned. Okay, so he's smiling. So we're gonna stall again. I don't see what you mean. So sure you do. You've never been an avid fan of change, have you? No. Oh, I stalled the second time. It's coming back to me. I forgot about these things. Okay, so I think I did two stalls before I said hit the girl. Okay, so stall again. So you're saying that I'm stuck in my ways. We all have a natural tempo, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so he's still smiling. So this is the last stall that we can do. So that's certainly a positive outlook. See, I know what you're trying to do, kid. Cut it out. Make your own choice. Make your choice now. Ah, okay. So it's not so much of his facial expressions that I thought that was supposed to be what we're supposed to go off on. It's more so when he actually mentions it. Like he stops conversation. He's like, I know what you're trying to do. Just get on with it. And that's when we should stop. Okay, so then let's hit the girl. So the next choice is to hit the girl. So in a situation like this, yeah, it seems like everything, the only option is to go with the flow. Yeah. Okay, so we hit the girl. Okay, so this is our second prompt to either choosing these 3 choices. Here we're supposed to stall 3 times. And just to fill you guys in, when we stalled 4 times previously, unlike what I had done before in the previous episode, we actually get the sequence of events in which Yama, he goes through, recalling what he saw once he entered in the classroom, and he figures out that plan to destroy Mr. Ryota's phone in a really subtle way, unsuspecting sort of way, where he goes kind of crazy for a bit. He's swinging his pipe all crazily and looks like he's losing his shit, but it turns out that he was actually aiming for the phone. So that portion happens way earlier than compared to what happened with mine in terms of the last episode. So there's that only difference there. So yeah, so I guess that's the good sign. So here we're supposed to stall 3 times before we hit the girl. So let's stall. I can't keep hitting her. Yes, you can. Yeah. It's a pity that life doesn't change whether you can or can't do something. Let's stall again. Twice. So why? Did that happen to you? So, are we having a little heart-to-heart? And 3rd time. So then something must have happened. Something that turned you pretty bitter. Okay, you'd love to hear that if it were true, wouldn't you? Hurry up. The clock's ticking, boy. Okay, there you go. So now he's unamused again. He's like, nope. We got it. We got this to go. And Yama did his whole little psychological warfare a bit on Mr. Ryouta. He was saying like, he was talking about the Aztec talk is what I'm trying to get at. So in terms of that, it all happened really early on because we stalled 4 times compared to what happened last episode. But anyways, we need to hit the girl. We need to go along. Yeah, my hands are shaking as a step closer, raising the pipe. Maybe I can get away with us hitting softer. No. So this is the last time hold on, let me get this. No, this is the second last time we're supposed to stall at this point. So we just had the talk, or we just worked through in our own minds how or why Mr. Ryouta is targeting these students in particular, or specifically why he started with students who were friends with Yahiko. And we worked out that logic about, possibilities of his connection with the Ikaris, his involvement with the independent killing, and his motives essentially, and how he's really pathetic. And we were trying to press his buttons and make him and provoke him in a way where he's like, oh yeah, your glory days of the independent killings have all faded away, and now you're a nobody now, and you've outlived your moment kind of thing, and so now this is what you resort to doing basically. So this here, the guide is saying that I should stall only once this time before hitting the girl. So let's go. Stall once. So you don't like to rush. There you go. I know you're little chicks, boy, and I'm not in the mood to entertain them. There you go. Okay, so The key thing here is that whenever he mentions that he knows when he quotes or like he says that he knows what we're up to, then that's when we should stop like trying to stall. So let's hit the girl. So I grip the pipe, arms shaking as I raise it over my shoulder. But aren't you stuck here forever? The fight, isn't it too tiring? Isn't it getting tiring? Aren't you exhausted? You're not strong enough to face this. I shake my head and squeeze my eyes shut, trying to knock the voices out of my head. Okay, yeah, we can't do this anymore. Okay, yeah, so I swing the pipe. Ouch. No, yes. Okay, so the pipe drops and I am going through a lapse or trying to not pass out. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we hit the girl. After stalling once, we stall 3 times here before hitting her again. So 1. So I thought you were with us. Yeah. You betrayed me. Why? Do you feel betrayed? Yes, I do. So again, I thought of all people it wouldn't be you. Unfortunately, that is a fallacy in your own thinking. 3rd time, so but why you? So you know nothing, boy. Quit your dawdling. Okay, there we go. There he goes, unamused. Then we hit the girl again. So I raise the pipe, but my grip falters as my eyes turn to the girl. Yeah, she's no longer like hating on us, and she's just like accepted her death kind of way, which is kind of really depressing and like dark. Things are going south, and then we are questioning whether or not the police are even coming, and we're like, holy shit, this. Okay. Aha! Ultimate Negotiator is an achievement that I unlocked. Yay! I guess. Not really. I didn't do it by myself, but like, thanks anyways. But here's where the things get really, really weird. Okay, so the only, like I said, the only spoiler that this guide gives away is the choices. And the last of the choices here that we need to make in order to get this quote-unquote good ending is to kill the girl. I'm like, what? Kill her? Oh, fucking Christ. Okay, here we go, guys. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but either way, let's go. Let's get it. This is what we're here for. But I falter. I stand stiffly, the pipe frozen in my hands. Should I just hit her without a killing blow and let the game continue? I can't kill her just to take the easy way out, but I don't think I can keep sustaining my sanity. It would be easy. Everything would be over. You don't need to bear this burden. This is what my mind is whispering to me, but I don't know whether to trust it or not. If I could see the ending, I would know. If we somehow end up getting out of this, then wouldn't she be glad to be alive, even with those injuries, because at least she has a second chance at life? I don't know, girl, but I need a save. I'm like, I'm getting kind of like, antsy. This pain, this suffering, it'll hurt and it'll scar, but maybe she could find her dream career, or marry a wonderful husband, something that just makes living worthwhile. But if we won't get out of this, if the only thing that's in store for us is an agonizing death against which we're fighting in futility, yes. It would have been better if I just killed her in the very first stroke. How can I make that judgment? How can I possibly predict that burden? Can I really choose to end someone's life with my own hands? I can't see the ending. I don't understand fate. I wish I could know the answer, but there's nothing for me. No one can see the future. Oh, if you dawdle any longer, kid, Rui gets the short end of the stick. Or the pipe, however you prefer to say it. Oh my god, no more time, no more chances. I've held out as long as I could. I raise the pipe over my head, aiming it directly in line with the girl's skull. She smiles tremulously in understanding and closes her eyes. Damn, acceptance, perhaps even gratitude. Because somehow we've landed in a situation where a quick death is merciful. What if I had been faster? What if I had been smarter? What if I had caught Ryouta before today and none of this would have happened? Why did I sit still in one place and allow this to happen? My arms shake as I will them to descend. I can't hesitate. I need to strike decisively. If I don't, the result will only be unconsciousness and a splitting headache and no clean death. This girl doesn't deserve to wake up again in this nightmare. No one does. And with that, I guess it's time to become a murderer. Wow, I raised the pipe even higher, counting softly in my head. 3, I'm sorry I wasn't enough. 2, I'm sorry you have to face this. 1. Then from outside the windows, light blast into the classroom, followed by a shrill overtones of a megaphone. Jiro, Ryouta, stand your ground. You are surrounded. Okay, so they get there in time. Oh my god, dramatic entrance. So please release the students or we will shoot you. But like, we still... Am I hearing things? So is my mind so desperate to reprieve that it's storing up whatever it can stop... It's storing up whatever it can to stop my pipe. So my eyes instinctively search out Rui. So expression is a mess. Horror mixed with sorrow mixed with relief. It's real then. Okay, so Shigure came. But still, from my last episode, we saw that the glass was bulletproof. No, wait, it's not over. It's not over. We're still in this room with Ryouta. Yeah, 2 students are still in the very dangerous positions where they might lose their lives. Yeah. So I glance at Ryouta. He's frozen in shock, his hands automatically patting down his pockets, searching for his phone. Ooh. Choking on air. The phone I smashed to pieces with a metal pipe. It just solidifies my suspicions. He would have been notified if I hadn't managed to break that phone. Yes, so while Ryouta is still in shock, we have to run now. He'll chase us, but he won't be able to stop himself from chasing us. Oh, so we run? Oh, I lock eyes with Ruri, then jerk my head to the door. Thankfully, Ryouta is still transfixed on the scene outside, mouth agape in disbelief. Ruri quietly slides from her desk and sidles along the wall. Painful inch by painful inch, she comes closer. Hey! Oh no! Run, Ruri! Run! I immediately seize her hand and we tear off, running as fast as we can on shaky legs. We don't spare any words. We only shoot up the stairs, breaking onto the rooftop. Why the rooftop? Why didn't you guys go down? Oh my god. The smart thing for Ryouta to do would be staying right where he is, using the 2 remaining students as hostages to secure his escape. Right. But he won't do that. Oh, maybe... Oh, okay. It would make sense. They could go on the rooftop because if there are choppers, like police choppers, then they could get a clear vantage point, perhaps. But he won't do that. Okay, so he'll chase after us, furious, bowling anything out of his way to reach us in time. So at this moment, the best thing we could do is run. Okay. Oh my god. The air is bitingly cold. It blasts at our faces as I lead Ruri to the edge without breaking in stride. See the line that goes through this row of pots. Jump over the edge there. What? Oh, jump. Oh my god. To her credit, she does, leaping over the low railing of the rooftop and plummeting to the ground below. Except it's not the ground, but the school pool. Oh, smart. I mean, but still, I don't know how high the rooftop is from the school pool to, not sustain any injury. The pool over which Yahiko Masato and I had stood last year with umbrellas in hand, testing if we could somehow fly with them. I had hated Yahiko for weeks after that moment. I never thought I would be grateful to have joined him. Ruri lands safely with a splash and scrambles to the side as fast as she can. I force myself to wait for a few agonizing moments for her to swim out of the way, then vault over the edge and... Oh no, you don't! I knew he was gonna come up behind me! An overpowering hand snatches my collar and yanks me back, crushing my windpipe against my jacket. I'm slammed against the ground on the rooftop, flat on my back. Ryouta stands over me, knife loosely handled between his fingers, toying with the edge of my collar with the tip of his blade. His entire face is saturated in a terrifying mix of fury and ecstasy, something that sends chills down my spine. Cute, really, boy, that was quite cute. He lifts me up and presses me against the railing, setting the flat of his blade against my cheek. No, it can't end this way. What a good-hearted soul, ensuring the escape of Ruri before you jumped. Someone like you needs a reward. He abruptly turns the knife until the edge rests lightly on my cheekbone. I flinch instinctively, which only broadens his grin. If you want to beg, boy, now would be the time to do it. Okay, oh god. Oh, like a rat sprinting through a maze, searching for its only chance at exiting, my mind races for a solution, something, anything. Oh god. No, nothing. Wait, what? What are we doing? Do you not wish to play a bigger role in society than an inconsequential pawn in this game of life? Or will you restrict yourself to the confines of your own abilities just because of her? Oh wow, wait, what? My one last chance is this, being vaguely specific. I look Ryouta square in the eye, willing my voice to be steady with every last bit of my strength. She was disappointed in you, wasn't she? The result is immediate. Ryota's grin drops and the grip on his knife loosens just slightly. His eyes turn completely blank, unseeing. I know for certain that in his mind, he's recalling a dark moment, a terrifying memory, something locked away that he'd never let himself know, let alone a stranger. Remembering tears of regret, a whispered phrase, words that have haunted nightmares every day since they were uttered. I don't allow myself to dwell on the thought. Before I get a grasp on what I'm doing, I am already seizing the handle of Ryota's knife and turning the blade, shoving it with more force than I'd ever exerted in my life, driving the tip right through his abdomen. His body jerks like a rag doll, but not a word presses his lips. The only sound I hear is the squelch of tissue and organs against metal. For a moment there's silence, broken only by the distant flare of police sirens. His grip loosens and his weight falls on my shoulder, driving my arm painfully against a railing. A ragged whisper drifts to my ears. Such is our lot, Yama Ishimoto. We are a disappointment. Oh, he used Shigure's trick on him. Nice, wow. Then, with sudden strength, he grips my shoulders and tumbles over the railing, pulling me with him. Whoa, my stomach lurches at the terrifying grasp of gravity as we plummet to the school pool below. Falling from the school roof, seized by a killer. This is what my existence has been. One struggle for life after another, a constant misstep, a wandering in the wrong direction. Now left with two innocent teenagers, broken and bleeding, their minds irreparable even if their bodies are not. A man once intelligent, once admirable, now driven mad, a knife fixed in his stomach. A clean and polished school, ruined forever by a legacy of violence. And who knows how many lives shattered. The air tears at my face and clothes screaming past my ears. Ryota's blood flies from his wound, coating the front of my jacket. Ah, that's right, I stabbed someone. We crash into the pool with stinging force. The tendrils of blood disperse into the chlorinated water like spider silk. Ryota's iron grip on my shoulders loosen at the impact. Bubbles gurgle from his lips, brushing past my face as they pop to the surface. I'm no longer holding the knife, but I still feel the form and weight of its handle between my fingers. This is what I've done. For a moment I let myself drift into the freezing water. There's no point in swimming up to the surface, really. Wouldn't it just be easier to just drift away? Come back up to the world, where I'll face a long hospital trip, a court case, catching up on essays about second wave world civilizations, and worksheets on deriving trigonometric theorems. Trigonometric? Oh my god, I can't pronounce that. Take the exams, go to some university, major in something or another, get a white-collar job, marry, have kids, die. After all this, after trashing another human being's system to a pulp, someone who might not recover physically and who will never recover emotionally. Is there even a point? Right, existential nihilism, the belief that there is no meaning, no value, nothing to life. I vaguely remember being terrified of the notion that when I'd first heard about it in class. Most students just laughed it off. How stupid, how depressing. Life has no purpose. Whoever made that up has issues. But it was too close to me, living a life of homework, keeping my head down and going through each day, wondering where I was and what I was doing. Maybe I've been trying too hard to find meaning where there is none. Maybe I've been desperately grasping for straws to find some kind of significance in an inconsequential existence. From a strictly technical point of view, this is not the time to be thinking philosophical thoughts. Being at the bottom of a pool, just an arm's reach away from a serial killer, probably with only 30 seconds left before I run out of breath and start drowning. Any sensible person would leave the Socrates sessions for another day and wait until all basic needs are met first. Guess I'm not as sensible as I thought. Either that or I can't bring myself to be. You can lead a student to air, you can lead a student to air, but you can't make him breathe. That's how the saying should go. Wow, okay, this is getting really deep. This is getting a little too personal. Maybe I should just sleep. I suddenly feel so tired. Oh, come on, Ruri, where the hell are you? You need to rescue him. Rescue Yama. Hello? Ah. So I think I've been here before. Yes, you have. A very long time ago. Yes, when you drowned in that bus. That's right, this is a familiar road. There's a sign at an intersection, I think. It's rickety and rusted, worn from use. There's no words on it, just two arrows, one pointing forward and one pointing backward. Clear! Okay, I'd just like to stay here. A fork in the road is such a dangerous thing. Left, right, a one-time decision, and if it turns out that you run into an obstacle, then you'll find yourself wishing that you made the other choice. Then don't you start overthinking everything? Yes, you do. Oh my god, Yama, stop being so real. Stop making shit so real. What if I'd taken the other road? What if the other road was worse? What if there was another road if only I'd looked harder? What if I hadn't taken a road at all? What if I'd gone backwards? Oh my god, Yama, please. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. and that has made all the difference. A poem written by Robert Frost, originally intended to be a simple teasing joke, a hint of playful satire at indecision. But people saw it as something else. Even though they weren't poets, they started adding their own kinds of verses to the composition. Independence, individualism, science, discovery, curiosity, free will, and the human condition. Poor Robert Frost, suddenly he had written an entirely different poem, even without touching his pen. Two roads diverged in a wood, and what did you do? Do what? Oh my gosh. Heavily medicated doctor. Anytime he's coherent, he thrashes around. We have to sedate him every time. How long? 2 weeks. The record? Here, sir. I assume that when he screams for her, he's referring to the other patient. We think so, sir, but she's still recovering with therapy. We haven't been able to get her in here. What's her progress? She started speaking again after her parents came with the photo album. We're also hoping that the daily fresh air will help her walk. And how about her arm? Psychosomatic, like her legs, will be monitoring it over therapy. Oh, good. She'll likely be our fastest ticket to his recovery. But it might be a while before Miss Ryouta is able to... Ah, Mr. Ishimoto, are you awake? Can you see me? No, not really. Oh. Ruri. Mr. Ishimoto, can you tell me... Where's Ruri? Where did you take her? She's supposed to be here, safe. I'll hold him down. Oh, show me, Ruri, my own 2 eyes. Yeah. Diazepam? Give her back. Give her... Oh, there I go. They drugged me. God damn it. I thought they were talking about the 2 students that we badly injured in that sick game. Here comes a candle to light you to bed. Here comes a chopper to chop off your head. Chip chop, the last man's dead. Sometimes I really wonder about children's nursery rhymes. Why do we let young kids listen to such twisted ideologies? Children aren't supposed to deal with that kind of stuff. They're supposed to be innocent. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. My world suddenly feels warm. What is that? Why is it happening? Am I getting hugged? I better get hugged. I suddenly get the impression that I'm awake. I think someone's holding my hand. The tips of my fingers feel warm, like they're being cradled in a loving palm. Everything else is blinding light that drills into the back of my eyes. Home is here. Home. Oh my god, Ree! Finally got to visit you. I'm sorry for the wait. I had to go through the therapy to start talking again. Oh yeah. I know that the whole thing is over thanks to you, but yeah, whenever I close my eyes, I don't blame you, girl. Well, I guess I'm really thankful that the doctors could help me, right? I just hope that it'll be the same for you. Well, I'll let you rest up. You'll need a lot of it. Oh, and this old thing? Doctor says I'll be out of it in a week. It's apparently all in my head. Honestly though, a wheelchair is not all that bad. I kind of feel like royalty. You know how they had those, what are they called? Sedans? And they got carried around all the time? Carriage, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I guess this feels like that. Oh, and Yama? I love you. Hello? Oh, come on, girl. I love laughing at your grades. Dang it, girl. Okay, we're getting there. It's okay. It's okay. So hurry up and get well, dummy. Okay. It's alright. I dream a little longer. My dreams are softer now, a little more delicate, like lace instead of sandpaper. That's nice. That's good. Like, you're recovering. Does that mean you're recovering? Aw, there's our family. Okay. What do? I see a young kid grasping the hand of his older sister. In another world, that kid grows up to be more confident, more assured. He learns how to deal with bullies so that he won't bother his sister. He learns how to study hard and make friends and play soccer like all the other boys his age. He doesn't withdraw, lost in his room. He doesn't keep to himself on the playground. He's a happy young boy who turns into a happy teenager. He goes to the prestigious middle school in the area, the academy, to follow in his sister's footsteps. Because his family never left the city. His family never fled to a suburban little town 3 hours away from Isamu. His family stayed because in this other world there was never an event that had to do with a bus, a blizzard, a loose tread, a frozen river. So the young boy also stayed. Maybe he meets a lively orange-haired girl at this middle school. Maybe he befriends her because she's lovable and bright and impossible to dislike. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he falls in with a different crowd, a sea of faces that play soccer and grab ramen on snowy days and study in the library when it's raining. Either way, he flourishes, loves his life, maybe dates once or twice. He studies hard for the college entrance exams, and he passes with flying colors in this other world. He makes it into the university of his dreams. He studies something that he loves. Graduates, finds a girl, gets married. Maybe she has orange hair, maybe she doesn't. He finds a good job, has kids, smiles like an idiot when his daughter wraps her fingers around his pinky. Aw. He'll name her after his sister, the one who's alive and well, who married a decent guy and had kids of her own. Then that boy who turned into a teenager, who turned into a man, who will wake up one day and he'll be happy, he'll be whole, and he'll be... Damn. Wondering if this was all there was to life. God damn it, the metaphoricals, man. Makes me depressed. My eyes peel open sluggishly, like they haven't done so for a decade. My muscles feel weak and lifeless, spindle slugs on the sidewalk. My throat's dry and my head is smarting. So, looks like I'm in the hospital. Yes, you are. I notice that a nurse is at my bedside, fiddling with the IV drip on the table. She seems tired, drawn eyes, tight frown. I clear my throat to get her attention. Excuse me. The words eject in a queasy croak. The nurse jumps at the raw noise, but relaxes when she notices me. Oh, wonderful, you're awake. Yes. Her voice is chipper, but I notice how she eyes me with caution, like I'll lunge out of bed and strangle her if she makes any sudden move. Well, yeah. Do you remember my name? Do you remember your name? Yama Ishimoto. Good. Do you remember how you got here? By ambulance, I'd assume. I wheeze in dry laughter. Everything seems funny. Or maybe it's just the drugs, who knows. The nurse eyes me for a minute, then presses the intercom. Doctor, the patient's awake. Can you speak with him? Okay, here we go. They give me a basic physical exam, followed by a psychological inventory. I give all the answers I think are correct and expect an imminent release. I'm ready to get back to my life. I don't think so, boy. You need to go through a little bit of therapy I'm just saying. Like, that's a pretty traumatic event for you to go through. For anyone to go through, actually. So instead, they take me to a room with a plush couch and a contemporary lamp, where a man sits in his armchair and tries to get me to talk about my life. Therapy. I've been through it too many times. It's gotten quite old over the years. I'm so familiar with the proceedings that I resign myself to playing mind games with the therapist. Can I predict before he asks? Can I redirect his questions? But it's not such a smooth and humorous process. Yeah, 'cause, after what happened. Therapy makes me recall everything. Yeah. Breaking limbs with a pipe, with my own 2 hands, driving myself insane, stabbing someone in the gut. During the first session, I black out. They tell me later that I crumpled into a ball and refused to respond to anything until Rui came. Rui, now out of her wheelchair. You've been in the hospital for 2 months, she said. Well, I'm not surprised, actually. Rui holds my hand in the next session. I squeeze it until I'm afraid that I'll snap her fingers, just like I snapped those bones. She whispers, "You're innocent. Don't worry. It was all Ryota's fault. You're a victim." Yeah, you're a victim. I still feel blood on my hands whenever the sessions are over. I go to the bathroom to wash my hands, once, twice, 5 times over. It still runs slick and steady over my wrist and into my forearms when I exit the bathroom. I stop speaking for a few days. There's nothing to talk about. I have too many sounds to remember, too much cacophony thrumming in the space between my ears. Rui sits by me, feeds me when I have no strength to lift a spoon, pulls the covers up to my chin like my mom should have done. She tells me stories, a princess and a knight, a detective and a bar singer, a celebrity and an unfortunate grocer. Some days I just sit and hold her hand, watching her eyes dance as she paints imaginary canvases with her words. Speaking so much tires her out quickly. Sometimes she nods off in the middle of a sentence, so I lean her head on my shoulder and listen to the even rhythm of her breath. It's softer than the discord in my brain. Sometimes it lulls me to sleep too. Then comes the session where I remember everything, every last bit, and I lose consciousness again. Okay, but at least you're making progress, right? They say that they found me standing on the hospital rooftop, leaning against a banister with my arms spread wide, as if I was welcoming the city into a warm embrace. They instantly rushed me down, terrified that I tried to kill myself. Well, yeah, naturally. Calm down, I said. My smile was distant. I was just enjoying the view. They didn't believe me, so I'm confined to my room for a while. No one is allowed to see me except Ruri, not even my own parents. They say it's because I didn't they say it's because I didn't react well to their presence when I was delirious. Okay, well, okay. So, like the beast with his beauty, I'm holed up in a hospital room, counting the days until I can pass the psychology inventory. Rui brings gifts from the others, envelopes and gift-wrapped boxes, and overly large bags that could have only been funded by Yahiko's purse. I mean, that's really nice of him. They're nice and the thought is touching, but I tell Rui to return them all. I plan on staying here, keeping the blood on my hands in one room. Rui cries every time, a heartbreaking, frustrated kind of crying as she punches me in the shoulder and yells that it's not my fault. It's Ryota's. Why can't I get that through my head? But even if my brain agrees, my hands remember the scratchiness of the pipe, the vibration of each terrible impact, the oozing, sinking feeling of a knife sinking into flesh. So I can only kiss her on the forehead and thank her for staying with me. She doesn't blush, she doesn't even look remotely embarrassed. In fact, I think that the gesture only makes her angrier. We're gonna make you well, Yama. She screams this out the window, like some kind of oath. You're gonna be just fine. Oh my god. My hype woman. I attend more sessions, stay isolated from family and friends. My parents pay for the sessions, but I see nothing more of them. Legally, they're allowed to see me, but they don't insist. They probably don't really want to see me anyway. They haven't for years. Man. More days slip by. I wonder if our friends have moved on with their lives, gone back to school, prepared for the university exams, started dating. When I start speaking again, I ask Ruri how long we've been at the hospital. 2 months and 2 weeks, she says. Is that it? It feels so much longer, right? I continue sessions, go for walks, eat hospital food. I think I start to heal. Yeah, I think I start to heal because the world feels a little less empty with each passing day. It's not my fault. I decide to say this in the mirror every morning, even if I don't believe it. Maybe if I say it enough, maybe if I raise my chin and put my hands on my hips, maybe if I act like I believe it, then I'll believe it. I mean, like, fake it till you make it, right? I guess. It's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. Yeah, it's not your fault, man. I stare into my reflection, meaningless words pouring from my lips. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most broken of them all? It seems to whisper back. Broken you may be, young man, but I see one broken more still. Someone with nothing but blood in his eyes and no person to love. Someone who fell into darkness until, one day, to ease his pain, he had suddenly become a serial killer. Mirror, mirror, couldn't I have become that man myself? In another world, a boy, damaged by an accident, growing up alone and reserved, with nothing but the shadows as his constant companion. That boy could grow into a twisted teenager, who could grow into a twisted man. But I think I understand. None of that happened. What more do I need to worry about? Maybe I disfigured an innocent student, maybe I stabbed a human being, maybe I took part in a nightmare that never should have been dreamt. But in this world, in these circumstances, I'm not a twisted, lonely little boy. I grew up showered with love, surrounded by friends, given an ordinary school life. The me standing here and now wouldn't voluntarily lift a pipe or a knife to hurt someone without purpose. Because I'm not anyone else. Yeah, man, that's good. Eventually, I stopped talking to my reflection. I stopped washing my hands every half hour. I feel at peace, I think. At the very least, I stopped blacking out. That's good. Oh, he's making progress! Yay! Rui says that it's been 3 months since our hospitalization. Isamu's now deep in the hold of summer with a blazing July sun and humid forest wind. School is probably back in session. It doesn't stop us from receiving gifts, cards, letters, candy. Rui gets swamped by them, of course. Surprisingly, even I receive a few. This time, I returned them for a different reason. Not because I plan on cutting off outer contact, but because I plan on seeing them in person. Oh, look at you! Look at Yama making progress! I'm so proud of you! The both of us go through more psychology tests. This time, they seem happier with our responses, because they finally opened the doors. Oh, yay! Oh my god! I don't expect visitors, to be honest. Although I'm no longer bedridden after taking walks around the hospital wing, I expect that the others have gone on with their lives. 3 months is a long time in the hurried pace of a student. But to my surprise, the moment that the hospital lifts my quarantine, 2 figures race into the room in a blur. Is it our homeboys? Is it our homies? Our squad? Our gang? Our hoes? Minion! Yes, it's Yahiko Masato, I knew it. Oh my god, I'm so happy to see them. It's Yahiko and Masato, dressed in their school uniforms. They're practically bursting with energy. For some reason, seeing them brings tears to my eyes. Embarrassed, I turn away. Hey man, I would cry too. I would cry. I would Straight up just bawl. Dude, these past months have felt like forever. I know. I can't believe that this happened, right? I can still remember. You didn't come to school the other day, and no one knew where you were, and Rui wasn't talking about you. Then suddenly, no one could find Rui, and no one could find you, and a hint of his mask comes crumbling down. For the first time, I see Yahiko's face twist in true pain. I was thinking that you guys would be gone, just like Haru, Shoji, Akane. He grits his teeth, shuddering. All I could do is awkwardly pat him on the shoulder. I've always known that each of Mr. Ryota's victims were connected to Yahiko, but for some reason I'd never actually considered what that did to Yahiko. It's amazing, really. How could Yahiko even stay standing? How could he still smile, still laugh, even as people he knew were dying? I'd always thought of him as kind of weak and more than kind of stupid, but it looks like he was actually stronger than any of us. He was even right there at the scene of Shoji's death, saw him die with his own eyes. At the time, the scene looked suspicious, but now that I think about it, wasn't Yahiko just trying to prevent a suicide? Right? It wasn't that why I had found Shoji in the river? I almost want to ask about it, but something tells me that Yahiko's had enough. Well, I'm okay, apparently. Yahiko stills, his mouth turning up into a forced smile. Yeah, I guess so. But still, I didn't do anything. What could you do? You didn't even know where we were. Yahiko's eyes shift to the side and he clears his throat. Masato's eyebrows tighten slightly, but he says nothing. Actually, Shigure called us. What? Really? Well, I mean, technically, I guess it was after the fact, but still. We needed to know why you were hospitalized, so we kinda just piled on a bunch of questions. Oh, she explained everything. The cases, your investigation. She said we deserved to know. Right. Shigure told them. Yeah, why would Shigure tell them? It simply doesn't make sense. At the very least, she would be wasting her time. Beyond that, she'd be spilling confidential info with no clear purpose. So, well, we told Akira and Misaki since Akira's the best friend of Rui and Misaki knows you both. Right, and Elizabeth ended up overhearing and apparently Shigure had told Airi. So all the people that we met and, hung out with knows. We visited you a few times, but you were either knocked out or you started thrashing around. And then they kicked us out entirely. So that's why they stayed so worried. That's why they were so persistent with the gifts. I guess it's not every day that one of your friends tries to fight a serial killer. A smile of gratitude tugs at my lips, and I feel a little warmer inside. They really cared a lot for us, didn't they? Of course! Thanks, Yahiko. Yahiko only nods mutely. I glance at Masato, only to find that he's still stewing. Come to think of it, he hasn't said a word. Masato? Damn it, what? Yahiko and I jump at Masato's sudden exclamation. I'm a shack and full dumber. Yeah, the fullest dummery dumber. Yeah, cause we had that argument with Masato before shit hit the fan. So yeah, we weren't on great terms when we nearly died. What? He quiets slightly, speaking through gritted teeth. I was stupid blind. I didn't see nothing but myself. Yeah, I'm real sorry, man. Aw, it's okay. Well, wait, where is this coming from? Honestly, I'm just surprised to see him here. I wasn't fair to you, man. Was throwing a tantrum like Lil Habiki. Saying all those words, not listening to you, it was something only a shack and full dumber would do. Should I ask what was going on instead of assuming everything? Yes. Oh, his apology catches me off guard. Well, thanks, but he was right. Just after he told me to be nice to Rui, I treated her like trash. Maybe he could sense it coming. Maybe he saw that something was wrong with me. Wait. Now that I'm paying more attention, I notice that Masato's hair is damp. Not only that, but there's the faint smell of chlorine? Masato, were you just swimming? Uh-huh, well, yeah, I guess. Okay, so technically it's summer, and technically it's pretty normal to be swimming, but something turns slowly in my brain, disused, but still keen. Did you save us? Well, all you talk about is track. Yama's probably tired of hearing it by now. But I don't just run, I can swim too, and do basketball. Did he save us in the river? Masato can swim, in fact, he can swim well. Masato's incredibly athletic, and the last person who I'd spoken to before I'd seen Shoji drowning in that river, before I'd almost drowned, had been Masato. So he did save us. He saved the both of us. He could have easily hauled Shoji and me to shore, even if we were both hopeless at swimming. Odd, it was 3 months ago, but each memory feels as vivid as yesterday. Vibrant, full of life. Guess I should seize the moment. Did you save us? Save who now? Me and Shoji from drowning 3 months ago. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a yes. It's not like he'd forget saving 2 people from drowning, even if it was 3 months ago. Wait, you guys almost drowned? Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Well, we didn't, thanks to Masato, yeah. Yahiko's face twists for a moment, and for one terrible second, I think he's about to cry. And then... Did you see a mermaid? Stop it! Stop, don't. It's too soon. Now, my good minion, this is a very important question. You must answer. There was a mermaid, wasn't there? Beautiful, with long hair and a voice that sounds like a really nice voice? To answer or not to answer? Why not? Well, she sung just like you. Oh, really? She must have been amazing. It was definitely worthy of awe. I knew it. The hell you saying, Yama? There was no mermaid. What? Yeah. This overdramatic gasp is punctuated with a very long silence. And then Masato snorts. I chuckle. Yahiko giggles. And pretty soon the 3 of us are collapsed on the ground, rolling with uncontrollable laughter. My sides ache and my chest heaves and every possible muscle on every possible limb is protesting with a sore ache, but it feels good, like the stress is just melting out of my body. Laughter is the best medicine after all. Finally, we pick ourselves up, brushing at our eyes. Good to see you're still with us, man. Might want to take a rest, cause there's a lot of people waiting to talk with ya. Oh, you're almost as famous as I am. Wait, what? Yeah, I would figure like Misaki, Elizabeth, maybe Tanaka, Natsuki, yeah, maybe Natsuki, maybe Sugar Ray, maybe Irie. Later, man. Yes. Rest up, good minion. I'm putting you to work the moment you recover. Wait, what do you mean that I'm... but they've already skipped out of the room, leaving me completely bewildered. I wait for another visitor, but my door doesn't open again. Maybe people are coming later? Maybe. Perhaps. It would be nice. After talking with Masato and Yahiko, everything feels normal. Kind of like the world after being knocked off course has found its bearings again. Right. Some hint of normalcy. On your feet, soldiers. Oh yeah, and Akira. How can I forget Akira? Gak! I startle out of my beauty sleep to find that Akira, Irie, and Elizabeth are seated in the chairs next to my bed. For a moment, my groggy mind scrambles to piece together reality. Right, hospital. They must be visiting me. Uh-huh. Oh hey, it actually worked. But he seems a bit disoriented. Well, we simply can't have that, can we? Sick am Irie. What do you mean? Or don't. Yeah, Elizabeth clears her throat and she arches an eyebrow in my direction. So, Yama Ishimoto. So, Elizabeth Oshiro. She suddenly lurches to her feet, glaring darkly at me. I want to know what the bloody hell you were thinking when you decided to do something so barmy. Going to face a known serial killer alone, unarmed? What were you planning to do? Sneeze on him? Hey man, hey girl, it's not like I could do much. He's a pretty smart guy. Her chiding catches me off guard, but it doesn't grate on my nerves. It actually seems caring in the weirdest way. It is unavoidable. Yama is the protagonist. Yes, he is. Precisely. It's exactly something that, say, the main character of a novel would do. Or a visual novel. Haha. Well, this isn't a bloody novel. Correct. It's a visual novel. Yes! Alright, you get me. You get my drift. Yes. You know what? I'm not even going to ask. Yeah, that one's beyond even me. I relax against my pillows. Their energetic presence lights up the room. I hadn't realized how much I missed just being an ordinary kid hanging out with his friends and getting ready for university until now. Right, ordinary life, friends. I can just talk about normal stuff, stupid stuff. I clear my throat awkwardly, struggling for words. So, how's school been? Wait, you're asking about school? Who are you and what have you done with Yama Ishimoto? Well, it's a welcome break from thinking about serial killers. Right. Huh, you speak truth. She turns to Elizabeth as if deferring to authority. Elizabeth smiles appreciatively. Well, the Academy's been fighting it off as long as possible, but they were finally forced to shut down. Just today, actually. Wow, the public scandal was too much for them to bribe off, apparently. Well, I would imagine, but thank God. The police are currently conducting an investigation to see how deep this murder scheme goes and why it seems to center around Yahiko Ikari. Yes. Before I can stop it, my brain automatically kicks back into investigation mode. Have they found anything yet? Yeah. Unfortunately, no. It's unusual, actually, how clean and tidy these killings are. I mean, I want to get the full story, too. How did What's the full story behind Mr. Ryouta and why he became a serial killer like that? There's no ties to any faculty, no apparent motive, no links to any accomplices, and Mr. Ryouta has gone off his trolley from the moment he'd been apprehended. Wow, nothing he says makes any sense. I briefly recall a discussion about Aztec gods and blood rituals. It seems so far away, yeah. Yeah, I'm not very surprised. But why could he mask his insanity so well while he was a dorm manager? It was practically a personality check. Oh, hey, Elizabeth. Yama's supposed to be resting from that. Right. It's fine, Akira. This is important stuff. Nope, you need to rest. Rui's orders. I can rest as much as I want later. Isn't the academy closed? Actually, there's an interesting story behind that, too. What? Akira expels an exaggerated sigh, and I'm already honed in on Elizabeth's words. What do you mean? Don't you find it odd that there are no reporters hovering around? That you haven't received a single request for an interview? True! Now that you brought it up, maybe I'm not cute enough. Oh, for the love of... They haven't been around Rui's room either. Yeah. Well, when she puts it that way, it's definitely suspicious. I would have thought that this kind of juicy scandal would draw reporters like carrion birds to a corpse. Yeah. So, there's no news coverage. They covered Mr. Ryota's killing spree and arrest, but there's nothing on the closure of the academy. It's as if the national news network is simply ignoring the fact that it all happened at school. Wow, wait, what? But the job of the news is to inform the people. Well, you'd be surprised, girl. Nowadays, it's all about the fake news. One would hope, but in this case, there's not a peep from them. Sober silence falls over the room. No news for closing the academy? Come to think of it, the NNN used to cover the murders extensively, but I haven't seen much of them recently, or maybe that's just because I don't watch the news much. Maybe I'm out of touch. Well, we should get going. You need to rest up. Okay. She reaches out a hand as if to pat me on the shoulder, but suddenly withdraws it, looking away. Bye. Okay. She quickly runs out of the room. Elizabeth snorts, but her features eventually soften into, dare I say it, admiration. Rescuing Rui was an admirable feat, Yama-Ishimoto. Utterly batty, perhaps, but admirable. Right. Very ballsy. With these parting words, she turns on one heel and strides away. Aya is the only one left. Her gaze fixes on me, almost like she's examining an alien specimen. What is it? Yeah, what's up, girl? You seem uncomfortable. Oh, actually, this bed's really nice. Not that kind of uncomfortable. I wait for her to elaborate, but she doesn't say anything more. She only slips back into her chair. I can sing. Singing can help you sleep. Thanks. Yeah, it's so sweet. Something about the weight of her words makes me think that this is more than an offer to sing. It's almost an expression of trust. I'd like that. Okay, Iris smiles just the teensiest bit, then closes her eyes. Aww. The intricate melody that spills from her lips practically eases my muscles into butter. I'd forgotten how nice her voice sounded. It barely takes me any time before I've slipped away from consciousness. Nice, she's like a little siren. So cute, my personal siren. I wake up on my own this time. I fully expect the room to be vacant, to be accompanied only by the ticking of the clock, to be utterly silent, but instead I'm greeted with the sight of a girl seated in the chair beside my bed. Yes, Shigure! Oh wait, not girl, woman. Shigure? She doesn't even look up from... Is that a book she's reading? No, files. Long files, apparently. Alright, yeah, Ishimoto, you're awake. Hello. Or sleep talking. Highly improbable. I smirk at that, even Shigure seems to be smiling. So, what brings you to my humble abode? Shouldn't you be working? Ryouta has already been apprehended. I see no further need for my presence in the precinct. What, really? Shigure's eyebrows gives the barest twitch of irritation. Or is there more to the story? Maybe. Maybe, I don't know, they officially considered the case closed, so you're no longer granted access through the investigation? Maybe? Yeah. Bullseye. That's kind of strange. Aren't you the reason why they managed to get Ryouta in the first place? I expect her to explode in a fit of intricate insults, but instead she hunches over as if a large weight is bearing down on her shoulders. Oh, what's up, girl? There are unusual movements in Isamu, Ishimoto. Something is stirring beneath the surface, something bigger than any of us could ever imagine. And I'm the chosen one, born to master the 5 elements and take down the ultimate evil in this world? The Fire Nation? Nah, I'm kidding. Absolutely not. Then maybe the shining sword of the chosen one? Oh, please. At best, you are a blunt arrow, sharper than the average rock, but only just. Ouch. Can you give me back the Shigure from 3 months ago? I liked her better, right? The one that says that she had faith in me. I'm afraid she will never make another appearance. Aw, dang. But when she snaps the file shut, her smirk softens into a genuine smile. Aw. It is good that you did not die, Ishimoto. Yeah, thanks. Although I am uncertain of its relevance, I told myself that as soon as you were coherent, I might relate my story to you. What's that supposed to mean? You may have noticed my certain unusual reaction to your phone call. Right. How she's like, I trusted you, like I believed in you. Like, what are you saying that you don't believe in me? I knew that you wouldn't have believed me. You never even needed me as your assistant in the first place. I wouldn't have believed you, but you didn't even try. I would have believed you. I would. Yeah, if you just trusted me, if you just. Right. What's that all about, girl? Ah, now that you mention it, I'd never seen Shigure that emotional, not even when we ran into Natsuki. For time's sake, as well as for the sake of your interest, I shall keep my tale short. Despite her confident start, she gives a marked pause before she continues. I get the feeling that she hasn't talked about her story very often. Somehow, the idea makes me feel special. I was difficult to get along with in my youth. Only in your youth? I think automatically, but I keep my mouth shut. Yeah, don't ruin the mood. Most decided to keep their distance from me. As a method of coping, I kept to books. Hence her occasional bursts of ridiculous vocabulary, I guess. She's well-read. For the most part, the majority of my peers were inane and superficial. Losing their acquaintanceships was no loss. Okay. No loss. God, I stumbled over that. However, one day a boy approached me. The very traits that others hated so much about me, he found fascinating. Oh, your fiancé, perhaps? He became my truest friend over time. I have few memories apart from him. We even decided to engage in matrimony as we studied in university, after, of course, we found stable jobs. I finished my schooling within 2.5 years, at which point I began my detective agency. Wait, 2.5 years? Wow. That sounds crazy. She must have taken max units, enrolled in classes over interterm, studied without breaks. Right, like fast-tracked. I dearly loved my field of study and greatly looked forward to my field of work. Well, that's good. Aside from the late nights, it was of no difficulty. Somehow, I find that hard to believe. At any rate, one of my first cases was worked in conjunction with the police. There was a particularly vicious triple murder closely related to the family of my betrothed. Oh! He put forward a suspect I believed his mind to be clouded by emotion and disregarded it. So, he left and found another detective. I winced at the idea. That must have really hurt her pride. Yeah, Shigure notices my reaction and raises an eyebrow. It was a sore betrayal, Ishimoto, but my pride was not the only aspect that was in pain, right? It may be akin to Ruri losing trust in you, even though you thought that she, of all people, would continue to support you. Just the thought sends me reeling. I quickly decide to not consider it again. The suspect that my betrothed put forward was eventually, as I suspected, found to be innocent. Except no sooner after receiving his verdict, the allegedly innocent man tracked my betrothed's residence and... She pauses, the edges of her expression crumple, but she holds strong. There was another murder that day, one I could not handle. Damn! Oh, shit. All I wished for was to take back my actions. I wished that he had believed in me, that I had believed in him. So when I had run around by myself, when I had planned on facing Ryouta by my own initiative, no wonder she was so panicked. A repeat in history, a sickening time loop. Shigure doesn't deserve that. Thank you for telling me. She only shrugs wordlessly. It may help your resolve when it comes to Ruri. Learn from my mistakes, Ishimoto. This is my gravest instruction. This is my gravest instruction? What do you mean? What does it have to do with Ruri? Well, she's in love with you. Leave no regrets. That is all I mean. No regrets? Is she telling me to start dating Ruri, just like everyone else? The thought seems odd, kind of trivial. Maybe the past 3 months contributed to that. Shigure notes my uneasy expression and stands to her feet somewhat abruptly. Regardless, there are other matters I must see too, but you have earned a well-deserved rest, as well as this. She extends a flat, white envelope to me, stamped with pay stub? Wow, wait, what's this? You're paying me? Your pay, I dare say it's deserved. But you never said you'd pay me. I mentioned it multiple times, actually. You simply did not listen. She pushes the envelope into my hand. My fingers numbly accept it. Oh, wow, thanks. Wow, I'm paid. It's unexpectedly generous of her. Farewell, Ishimoto. Rest up. Okay, she whisked out of the room, leaving me with the envelope. Well, I'd never thought that she'd actually pay me. She didn't seem like the type. Hesitantly, I tear the envelope open and unfold the sheet of paper inside. It's an official-looking invoice with 3 printed lines, accompanied by a scribbled note. Income, 100,000 yen. Theme park tickets, 110,000 yen. Debt, 10,000 yen. Oh my god. However, as my magnanimity knows no bounds, I shall benignantly waive your debt. S.E. Benignantly? I can't pronounce words. Shigure, you need to stop. You need to stop being a walking dictionary, or thesaurus. Okay, ha ha. Okay, so she didn't actually pay me. She just paid me, and then we owed her the money for the theme park tickets, and then she, quote unquote, is doing us a favor by saying, okay, never mind, you don't need to like owe me back for like the amount that you need to like pay off your outstanding debt or something like that. I don't know, something like that. I totally should have seen this coming, right? Very well, Ishiyama. Let us depart. Really? Are you really? And you're paying for everyone? Oh yes, with your future wages. Yes, there you go. I should have known something was up the moment Shigure started complimenting me. Nevertheless, I'm chuckling to myself even as I slip the pay stub back into the envelope. That's definitely more like Shigure. Right. Nothing less of her. Still grinning, I settle back for some more sleep. I note with satisfaction that the heaviness in my limbs is much less substantial than before. Okay, that's good. That's great. So I wake to a soft knock at the door. Huh, someone actually knocked. Who would have thought? Come in. It's Misaki! Yes, we haven't seen her. This time it's Misaki who slips through the door. She wordlessly walks over to my side and embraces me. I stiffen awkwardly at her touch. Miki? I'm glad you're okay, Yama. When I heard that they were allowing visitors, I rushed here as soon as I could. I was starting to think I would never see you again. She drops off into silence for a moment. I feel her fingers clutch at my hospital gown. Yahiko and Masato told me about the investigation, about your involvement with the case. Yeah, sorry for not telling you. You didn't have to. I just wanted to say you did well, Yama. Aww, the simple words make my throat swell. Before I can respond, she releases me, settling in the chair nearest my bed. I immediately take note of the stress weighing on her features. She looks a lot more tired than I remembered. Something wrong? It's just something about the case still worries me. Have you heard about the recent uproar on Patter? No, can't say that I have. Well, it seems the murders caused a political firestorm. People are angry at how the government handled the incident. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Wait, why is the government getting backlash? Aren't the murders a local issue? Misaki shakes her head. After his re-election last week, Mayor Inori held a press conference. According to reports, Mr. Ryouta was an immigrant. Not many are happy that a foreigner was able to murder innocent civilians within their borders, so the mayor blamed Japan's government for granting amnesty to undocumented workers to compensate for the financial crash in 2007. Ah, it's one of those, okay. He even proposed for Isamu to break away from the country's incompetence by becoming an independent state. I can only remain in stunned silence at this revelation. Mayor Inori is using the murderers as his political platform. With all this attention revolving around Ryouta, why is the Academy being excluded from the media? Do you know if they mentioned the Academy at all? They haven't. That's what worries me the most. It's almost as if that she trails off, seemingly lost in thought. As if what? As if someone was attempting to cover up the school's involvement. A cover-up? Well, who's sponsoring the school? That's the important question, because if we trace it back to who's sponsoring the school, who's investing in the school, then, maybe we can get answers then. I know, it's a bit of a stretch, but listen to this. Okay, she retrieves her phone from her pocket. Remember how the Academy has quite a few sponsors? Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. Isn't that why it's so prestigious? Career day and all. Yeah, exactly. So I figured, what if they were afraid of people knowing they were affiliated with a school who hired a murderer? Then how were they able to censor the media? That I still don't know. Well, you'd be surprised. She says this dejectedly, sinking into her seat. Yama. Yeah? What? Aren't you angry? Angry? At Mr. Ryouta, at the media, at fate. You didn't deserve any of this. You've already gone through so much. And yet, it happened anyway. She clenches her fist, an uncharacteristic shadow veiling across her face. Maybe she's right. Maybe I should be angrier. But all I feel right now is just relief, right? Like, dude, yeah, Like, the point is that we made it out okay. Everyone's safe, and that's all that matters to me, right? Exactly. I see. She expels a heavy sigh. Seeing her this distraught is a little unsettling, to say the least. I guess these past few months haven't been easy on anyone, even Misaki, yeah. She should be fretting over entrance exams, a modeling stints, or a social drama, not over her friends almost being murdered. This somber thought prompts me to ask her about school. Since the academy is closed, do you know where you'll be transferring? No. The shift in her eyes tells me that she hasn't given it much thought. Have you been studying at least? Aren't the university entrance exams coming up soon? Yeah. Oh, who are you, my teacher? Right, exactly. I'll take that as a no. School hasn't been on my top priority lately. I imagine. It never has been, to be honest. So you're not worried about getting into university? Not really. I mean, I'm pretty sure like someone like her can get a scholarship. Now that I think about it, she never explicitly said was planning to attend. Yeah. So what are you doing after high school? The words slip from my mouth before I'm able to grasp what I just said. How ironic. I never expected I'd be the one to ask this question. Yeah, I don't know. What about modeling? As much as I enjoy it, I don't think I'm fit for it. Why not? I thought you loved your job. I do, but yeah, it's like she averts her gaze, twirling her phone between her fingers. I went into business for the wrong reasons. I thought it was an opportunity to experience something new, you know. I thought it would be easy. But it's not. I can't cope with the stress. I can't focus. I'm always irritable. Tell me, what company would want someone like that? Mickey, you're not... But it's true, Yama. You've seen it. I never really think these things through. I just don't know what to do anymore. As strange as it is, Misaki seems genuinely concerned. I take a moment to really consider her situation. The Misaki I know couldn't care less about failing. As long as she had fun doing what she wanted, that's all that mattered to her. If you really loved being a model, then keep doing it. If you lose interest in that, you could always try something else. Yeah. For a moment Misaki's expression is unreadable. I'm afraid I've said something extremely cheesy, but she flashes me a bright smile. Wise words from an old man. but she's a year older than me. Yeah. I don't know about that. Thank you, Yama. Don't mention it. For some reason, the sincerity in her voice flusters me. Usually, she's the one that gives me these kinds of pep talk. I suppose I should let you rest. I still need to speak with Ruri. I'm sure you'll be alright? Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Mickey. Of course, rest well, Yama. Yeah, after flashing one last smile, she strides out the door. Okay, there we go. Aw, it was surprising to see Misaki so anxious, but then again, it's only natural considering everything's happening. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The academy is being excluded from the media. The citizens are fed up with the government. Mayor Inori is calling for sovereignty. Sovereignty. It seems change is imminent for Isamu. The fact that the murders have garnered so much attention on this scale still boggles my mind. Not wanting to dwell on it for too long, I force myself to clear my head. I can think more on this later. For now, I should focus on the people around me. That's probably all I can do. Right? That's the most important thing. The next visitor comes around an hour after Misaki. Ruri, she's dressed in her school uniform like she's just an ordinary student going to an ordinary school, ready to face another long day of ordinary classes and ordinary teachers. The sight is so ordinary that it makes my throat sore. After these past 3 months, after remembering how she dragged me through therapy after all that she's been through, just looking at her makes me hopeful that life will one day return to normal. She kicks back in the chair by my bed, face shining with a typical grin. Morning, lazyhead. Morning. What's with the uniform? I don't know. I kind of missed it after a while. Oh, come again? It's not all that bad. I mean, being forced to wear it kind of sucks, but when you don't have to wear it anymore, it feels weird. Right. Like, hey, I'm still a second year. I have another 365 days before I become an old fogey. I flick her in the forehead with a mocking frown. Who are you calling an old fogey? Who do you think? Are you sure you want to stick with that statement? What's that supposed to mean? You know, being an old fogey is a pretty good life. I get killer discounts, I don't have to work, and I have a free pass to say any offensive thing I want. On second thought, never mind. Too late. Now I have old person privileges. Heaven help us all. It's a little weird teasing each other like this after what we've been through, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, this would function as an amazing segue to a different topic of conversation. Oh no, don't do it. Speaking of old fogies, how are your parents doing? I hate you. I know. She kicks my bed a little but petulantly responds. They've been visiting over the past few months. They couldn't come in here though because, you know, because I was isolated, because I was unstable. But I could leave to talk with them at any time. They're really thankful. It'd be nice if you could come over for dinner sometime. They'd like to talk to you about something. Anytime. Sounds like we're both going back to Seto. Yeah, since school's closed, they want me to go back home, probably tomorrow. They visited early. You didn't see them? They visited earlier. You didn't see them? No, I was probably sleeping. Maybe. Did something happen? Oh, well, you know, Dad said that something important happened at work. He probably got caught up. He probably got caught up in it as usual. Well, that makes sense. Rui bites her lip and meets my gaze. I really think that you should contact your parents. The air grows a little chilly. My fingers dig into the blankets. No need, the hospital probably has. Okay. We sit in silence for another moment as Rui works to find words to say. Yama. But the door suddenly flies open and familiar faces pour into the room. Yahiko, Masato, Misaki, Akira, Elizabeth, and Airi all race to my bedside. Whoa, what's happening? Up and at 'em, coach. You have hereby been acquitted of all crimes. What? I guess I'm being discharged, yeah. I think she means you're allowed to leave the hospital. And the doctors told you guys this, not me? Come on, man. Only a pansy sits around and twiddles his thumbs when there's work to be done. In other words, you got tired of waiting. Well, technically, my good minion, Yama is officially released, all due to my considerable influence. I'm sure. Actually, the scary thing is that he's probably telling the truth. I really need to ask him about, well, everything, eventually. Yes, like your influences. Oh, get up already. Elizabeth suddenly seizes my arm and pulls me out of my bed, shoving a handful of clothing in my face. Get dressed, we've something to show you. Okay, the others smile excitedly, poised on the tips of their toes. Rui grins encouragingly. Lead the way. Alright, let's go! Yay! Finally leaving! After giving me a few minutes to change into a spare uniform, we check out of the hospital and clamber into a limousine supposedly paid for by Yahiko. Wow! VIPs! The group's in a chatty mood as we wind down the streets to the familiar shopping complex by the academy. Laughter, jokes, and teasing chase away the tension in the air. Okay, where are we going though? We stop in front of Cafe de la Paix, where Yahiko bounds up to the door and opens it with a flourish. Huh, deja vu. After you, my good minions. Okay, what are we doing here? I'm floored as we step through the door. Colorful streamers and balloons are plastered around half of the cafe, decorated letters proclaiming "Welcome back, heroes" hanging from the ceiling. Aww! It's a stark contrast from the slick and sophisticated furnishings, and that doesn't stop my gratitude. This is for us? I certainly don't see anyone else. Aw, you guys! You guys! Rui covers her face with her hands. You guys, I just thank you. Aw, it ain't nothing, just a couple balloons and streamers. I wanted to run a dragon, but Elizabeth said it'd be a fire hazard. Not to mention the minor problems that dragons don't exist anymore. Right, hey, don't forget who's paying for all of this. Praise me! Fuel my praise kink! Wow, to think that he would actually say that out loud. I mean, at least he doesn't have no shame to it. Thank you for your generosity. Elizabeth says these words plainly and honestly. Could they actually be getting along? But of course, my lady, this is pocket change in comparison to the Ikari family treasury. Wow. Alright, Elizabeth's good mood quickly falters, but Misaki's eyes light up in realization. Oh, okay, pocket change. Ikari wealth is insurmountable, my lovely maiden. Truly, your generosity is unimaginable. How kind your spirit is to provide our lowly company with a bountiful feast of refreshments. Wait, refreshments? Yeah, did you guys get food? Ah, so you agree. The hospitality of an Ikari is beyond measure. I shall make certain that all of my followers learn of this. All of your followers? Oh, Mickey, that's just evil. You're fueling the shit. I believe that 8 orders of high tea will be sufficient for our party. Right, high tea? Yes. Now, time to write that pat. This is beginning to feel like extortion. It is. Okay, 8 orders of high tea coming right up. The poor soul. I watch with sympathy as he slides over to the counter, attempting to flirt with the server for a discount. Meanwhile, Akira and Elizabeth have dragged 3 tables together and arranged 8 chairs in an even ellipse. Yeah. Have a seat. We have something special planned. What? Even more than all of this? Ha! You didn't think that we dragged your asses all the way here just to drink some plant water, did you? Hey now! Elizabeth seems fairly offended at the disparagement of her beloved tea, but remains silent as Masato flings something out of his backpack. I'm with Elizabeth. How dare you insult tea? Ta-da! Okay, what is this? A heavy, ragged binder lands squarely in the center of the table, stuffed to the brim with stacks of paper. What is this? A binder? Oh, the last time I saw one of these was during the Edo period. Wow, it ain't that old. We're all surprised when Ari suddenly snatches the binder, flipping through it like a madman. Are we playing D&D? She smiles, the closest thing that I've seen to a broad smile from her. It's an RP. Yeah? Can I be GM? Oh, a game mod? Her eyes are almost shining. I've never seen her so happy before. Well, sure, I was gonna do it if no one wanted, but I want to. Yes! Huh, role-playing, who would have thought? Oh my god, I didn't know you liked board games, Masato. Huh? This ain't a board game. This is an artifact of story creation that weaves intricate tales of a hero's development. Yes, D&D. Me and the boys at home played it all the time. Little Hibiki had to be healer though, cause he couldn't sustain a good pounding. I have an ominous feeling about this. How exactly did you play RPGs? Acted it out, of course. How else are you supposed to play them? Oh my god, I really like. What is that? What is that term? I forgot what it is. I forgot what the term is, but it's like real life RPG, essentially. Oh boy. Who needs dice anyway? This way, it's all down to skill. Oh, no, dice are imperative. This firm word from Irie shocks us into brief silence. Dice are pansy. Hey now, don't argue with her. She'll whoop your ass. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, hey, you're GM, yeah. That was frightening. For a moment, I saw that Irie was radiating a death aura. It might be best to get on her good side, yeah. So, what should we do first? Yeah, you must create a character. Okay, wait, I must develop a world lore. Yes, we gotta have maps and shit. Irie narrows her eyes in concentration for a brief moment. I love how we're just settling down to just play some good old D&D after like getting discharged from the hospital after like a whole murder situation happened. Steampunk setting. You are in Aguilera Metropolis, a bustling city where clockwork machinery see to your needs and humans find ways to reach the heavens. Wow. Your fortunes are blessed, placing you squarely in the middle class. The metropolis is enlightened and thriving. Of this, you are grateful. Please, choose one of the following classes. The Knight, a powerful yet cumbersome fighting type. The Heister, a rogue of sly mind and wit with nimble feet and fingers. The Alchemist, a master of magical artifacts and elements with a scientific twist. The Doctor, a knowledgeable cleric. Where's my bard? Generally for girls. The Musketeer, a champion of firearms. The Engineer, an inquisitive innovator of ingenious inventions. The Entertainer, vulnerable to battle but charming and convincing. Wait, did she really come up with that in just 5 seconds? Oh my god. But where's my bard, though? Wow, they all sound so fun. I don't know what to pick. Okay. Well, it ain't obvious. There's only one good class. What? Here we go. Time for Mercenary Masato, the unbeatable fighter. Oh, the Doctor! Of course! He's an intelligent man. Wait, what? Masato, you know that the Doctor is a healing type, right? Wait, what? You think I'm an idiot? Kind of. I've always wanted to be the cleric, but they always made me the fighter. Ah, well, this is getting interesting. Right. Very well, Masato, Doctor. Okay, she doesn't even seem phased. Okay, cool. As for me, I'll be a heister. Sounds exciting. Okay, and I'll try my hand at a musketeer. Right, that fits with your aim. Right, exactly. She whips in my direction, ready for a snappy comeback, but then realizes that I was complimenting her. Yeah, you're a good shot. Oh, thank you. Her aim was really impressive, right? Exactly. So, I'll be an entertainer then. Yes. Okay, so useless. Hey now! You say that when you're in a foreign nation and the only thing keeping us from the chopping block are my liar skills. So I'm guessing she's the bard. An entertainer could be really useful not that I'll say that out loud. So, Dr. Masato, Heister, Akira, Musketeer, Elizabeth, Entertainer, Ruri. Yama, Misaki, and Yahiko remain. Okay, so Yama, why don't you pick first? Sure. Oh, I overviewed the list of classes in my head. Logically, we should probably all pick different classes so that we're a balanced group. That leaves me with the alchemist, the engineer, or the knight. Being a knight sounds like I'll just have to do a lot of fighting. Being an alchemist sounds really cliche. I guess I'll be an engineer. What do they do exactly? Engineer stuff, of course. Yes, Akira, so I gathered. Yep, in that case, I'll be a knight. Okay, alright, what? Not an alchemist? I guess not. Being an alchemist sounds so boring. Right, knights are so much more heroic and daring. Right, well, that's no surprise. Okay, so now to start... Oh, whoa, hold up. Yahiko suddenly pops next to me, apparently done with ordering the budget-breaking 8 high teas. Yes. So, Masato, my man, I thought we agreed that we don't need to use pen and paper. Oh my gosh. We did? I guess? I guess not. Oh, without responding, Yahiko reaches into his own backpack and displays some things around the table. Is it like, Merry Christmas, everyone! Oh my god, it's not even December. It isn't Christmas. Yahiko's gifts are site codes, gleaming with the shininess of newly released products. Where could Yahiko have gotten these? I guess from his parents. Technically, they're just prototypes, but they work amazingly well for our purposes. Wow. Wow, this is cool! Oh my god! The benefits of having rich friends. As we fit the futuristic spectacles over our eyes, Airi taps the table with impatience. Alright, Yahiko, you must pick a class. Exactly. Class. Go on. You have only one class left. Well, strategically speaking, you should pick the remaining class, which is the alchemist. Yeah, so, your command is my wish, milady. Yes, okay, there he goes. I guess. There he goes. So, what's at the stairs? Am I supposed to come up with the name and backstory and all that? Well, if you insist. Oh no, please don't. You're gonna take forever here. I'm 0.00177 kilometers tall. Eyes as blue as an Egyptian oasis. I was crafted by angels and fell from the heavens. Oh boy. My clothing is skin tight, which helps pronounce my amazing figure. Okay, alright then. What strikes you speechless, good minion? My dashing good looks? That's not exactly how I would put it. Yeah. Hey, I have a great idea. Why don't we get started, Irie? Yeah, thank you, Ri. You saved the day. That is not an idea at all, but very well. Our very literal GM proceeds to close her eyes, speaking in a soft, rolling tone reminiscent of the most skilled storytellers. Okay. Alright, well man, this is going on for this ending is going on for quite some time. I was actually hoping that we could wrap this up, but we're going to do a full like D&D session here. And my voice is straining from all that reading. Anyways, guys, I feel like I'm gonna leave this here. Well, it's probably a bad call on my end because I'm pretty sure I might be really close to the end and wrapping up the story and the good ending now, but we can deal with that when it comes, just later. Like, you know. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it here before. I don't want to push my luck. Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna leave it here. Oh my god, I don't know. Should I keep going? Should I see it to the end? This might be a long episode, you guys. Okay, we'll go for a little bit more. You know what? We'll go for a little bit more. You receive a letter promising power and prestige if you will simply enter the caravan tower at 20 o'clock. 100 hours and ask for Ion. What shall you do? Do I have to choose? Please don't tell me I have to choose. Okay, no. Go, of course. On waste the time a bit. On waste a moment of time, yeah. On not. Oh my god. I agree. Full steam ahead, people. Oh my goodness. But you need to roll. You need to roll, like, you know, from like a 1 or a 5 higher. Well, power and prestige sounds fun and dandy, but there's money involved. There's money involved, Oh my god. My heister, see? All was care for is them shinies, Oh my god. She's barely understandable, but I'm not putting up with this throughout the entire RP. Wait, Akira, if it's steampunk, we should all speak in British accents. Yeah, if looks could kill, Elizabeth would currently be my murderer. Huh, don't you dare, Yamashimoto. Tally-ho, we've done quite the bang-up job on our character creation, if I do say so myself. Oh my goodness gracious. Akira and Rui apparently don't notice that I'm teasing, they only lighten up with excitement. Oh man, here they go. That is a splendid idea. Oh my god, you guys. Why, I do believe that you've landed upon something quite profound, Yamashimoto. Thank you. Elizabeth buries her face in her hands, but the pair continue on oblivious. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Well, Ruri, under these circumstances, it would be prudent to meet this person together, would it not? Oh yes, indubitably. I quite agree. Indubitably. I don't know how to speak. Irie cuts in with her solid monotone, earning Elizabeth some relief. Okay, guys. Elizabeth, Misaki, Akira, and Ruri are en route, and... well, it wouldn't be a party without a great Yahiko Ikari. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go too. Okay, so sure, why not? Very well. Okay, y'all go. Irie closes her eyes, contemplating for a moment, then opens them with renewed fervor. En route to the fated tavern, you suddenly encounter a rabid horde of cretinous dingbats. I don't know. What? It's something Shigure says often. And suddenly I'm not surprised anymore. Prepare for battle. Oh god. Token springs up on our monitors, representing rows of hard-faced cretinous dingbats. Oh my gosh. Hold up, citizens, stand back. This is a job for President J. Graves. Oh my god. Governmecker, mobilize. You have no ability by that title. Then I unleash a fiery storm of death, while I am the alchemist. Ladies and gentlemen, power gaming at its finest. I see. Roll. Yahiko does so. There he goes. 1. That's not... yeah. Sorry, man. You drop your spell book on your toe. What? Oh my god. Sorry, man, but you gotta stick to being a model. Error 404 model class does not exist. Maybe it'll work if he models as an alchemist? No, I protest. These dice must be weighted. Okay. But they're digital, Yahiko. They can't be weighted. Look, let's just have Mealy in front, ranged in back, and Ruri in the far back. This matter should be fairly simple, considering that it's the first battle in the game. Oh my god, guys, we're actually doing a full D&D session here. I'm not ready for this. Okay, that's as far as I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna end this episode here, you guys. We're gonna continue on our D&D session here. More lighthearted stuff coming back into light after our shenanigans, after all that dark shit. So yeah, be prepared for just some wrapping up, some loose ends tied here and there in the next episode. I will, of course, look into more research on the game in terms of maybe perhaps doing more like other endings, I guess, other possible endings. So for now, thank you guys so much for joining me on this road to good ending. It looks like things are looking up and shit. So yeah, hopefully nothing comes flying at us at a curveball, and that we can end this all smoothly and everyone lives happily ever after. So until then, you guys, tune in next time. But for now, bye!